It was very difficult to go through last year, but I mean, last year is last year. We moved on forward. Nobody feels sorry for themselves. You got to be a man about it. Just flip the page and keep going.
What type of motivation? What is the difference in the feeling this off-season as opposed to the other side? Coming up in that attitude.
The difference between this offseason, we're not thinking about last year. We're not thinking about what nobody else thinks about us. It's all about us in that cocoon, us inside the locker room, us inside the coach staff. It's all about how we develop each other and how we come out and attack each and every day. And that's the biggest difference between last year and this year.
Marvin, obviously you came in as a highly talented recruit. Things haven't always been easy. I thought how's the whole was it like to be over now?
It's a great feeling, but I'm nowhere near satisfied. But just looking back on the road, how I got here, I never thought I was going to be here after my freshman year. Just the different things that I went through, the competition, the injury, and just the coaching changes and everything. I never thought I'd be here, but God is amazing.
Just what's it feel like overall to be one of the two players reps of the team?
Really, this is more than a dream come true because I never thought I'd be able to come to ACC Media Day. You don't see too many D tackles at an ACC Media Day. It's just a blessing just to be here.
What do you think when you hear about your coach being, people have been saying it's the job is on the line, things like that. When players hear that, how important is it to have a coach's back? Does it make you want to have a coach's back?
You're not worried. We got Coach Taggart because Coach Taggart got us, we got him. We're going to make sure that hot seat's going to go away. And we're not even thinking about a hot seat. That's not even being in our ear. We really just been worried about going out and winning. Just winning every day.
Have you learned how to kind of tune out the noise from Coach Fisher's last season, what happened last season? What do you do? Do you stay off Twitter? Read a newspaper? How do you stay focused when you hear a lot of negativity?
You just got to really. I've been on the scene for a long time. Since high school, you got somebody that's always gonna have something to say. And after a while, you get to the point you got to know deep down in yourself who you are, what you mean to this team, what you mean to this program. And you got to decipher the real from the fake. You got to just decipher that. So only so many people's opinions matter. That's the biggest thing I came through explaining to my team is like, the only thing that really matters is what your mom says, your parents say, coaches say, and what we say inside this cocoon. Everything else doesn't matter. If we keep that mindset, we'll be good this year. More than good, we'll be great.
I think that's one of the takeaways that as a team you took from last season.
That's the biggest takeaway we took from last season. Like a lot of people, people was going on social media, just going at us. Guys were going back and forth. Now we're just like, no, we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna let them talk. We're gonna go on the field, just handle our business.
Marvin, you played alongside Brian and DeMarcus. You talked about those guys in the other room. Now that they're gone, do you feel like you're ready for that expanded role and to kind of do for the younger guys what they did for you?
Oh, most definitely. Those two guys you just named were amazing people to me. Amazing leaders. They showed me the ropes. And, I think I'm ready to go ahead and show the young guys. I have been showing the young guys. Just been getting Coop up in the film room. Him and JaMarcus. And him Briggs. Been having J-Rob and Kando take on some of the young DNs, getting them worked out. Outside of PRPs and different things like that. Getting them ready, and it's been great being a leader so far.
Guys like us might see that Brian's gone and wonder about the pass rush. Do you like what you see from some of those ends?
I love seeing right now from some of those ends. They're young and they're hungry and they're ready to work.
Like I said, you're highly talented when you came to Florida State. On your visit, did Florida State do anything special or that surprised you that makes you want to come to ICO or somewhere else?
Yeah, they let me come to a football game. That was the best thing, that tradition, that spirit going in that ground with Osceola, just that no chop, just everything about Florida State, just made me fall in love with it, and that's why I'm still here.
Do you believe that there is one team in the ACC that's ahead of the rest?
Florida State.
Marvin, more and more guys start to get around the name and you think about the draft. I guess they get more attention. How do you keep yourself motivated as a team?
I got the workout with some of the greatest guys. We got Cam Akers, Corey Durden, Jalen Goss, of course James Blackman, one of the greatest motivators I ever met in my life. My teammates have been great. They've been great, not just teammates but brothers. Just help to take that load off now, help me think about it. We just worry about now, just living in the now right now. We're not thinking about the future.
What makes Blackman such a great leader?
Blackman's just a great man off the field. Just his morals as a person. You just recognize real when you see it. He's just a great person.
Was that from day one? First day you met him?
Day one. From day one, he hasn't changed since.
Marvin, I don't know if you've already answered this, but just being able to go against the offensive line, what improvements have you seen from that
Their confidence. Their confidence is going through the roof. Since that last season, they've been working their butts off. They don't care what anybody else thinks of them. They're going to work their butt off. That's the biggest thing I saw from my offensive line. They're not taking no slack from nobody.
And I know you guys kind of had to adjust to the tempo of going against them. How do you feel like you guys have done?
Well, we had to get in shape. That's the biggest thing we've been working on this offseason. The offense in that spring, they were moving the ball really fast. Cam Akers was getting out after it. Tamari and Taylor through the air. And, James Blackman was going to pitch the tempo. That's a great person. Hornibrook and JT were doing their thing when they got in the backfield, too. So we just got to come ready and in shape when camp hits.
Marvin, talk about the rush defense. Last year, a lot of running backs, there's a lot. It's something you guys got to work on this year to get better. To get the running game down from the opposing side.
No, this is something we just want to take more caution to. Just obviously you got to stop the run. That's one of our number one objectives each and every week is to stop the run. You stop the run, you make a team one dimensional. That's gonna make the game more wonderful for you. So that's gonna be the biggest thing we are going to attack this season.
How do you view the program? The first 3 years obviously weren't great, 12 and 13. But how do you view the program right now? How do you get it to where you want it to go?
You just got to keep working. One thing about it, Florida State will be Florida State, always will be Florida State. And that's the one thing about it, just got to get back to the tradition. We're just working hard each and every day and not just thinking about all the fantasies that come with it. We just worry about football. That's the biggest thing we need to keep on our minds, football.
Campaign on Twitter. Coach Taggart said, y'all are more concerned about winning, but just as a player that has to wear those uniforms, where do you kind of stand on that?
It's whatever the fans want us to wear, we'll put it on. That's how I feel about it. You just give me anything to put on, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to rock it, I'm going to ball.
Hey Marvin, I'm sure everybody asked you this, I just got here. What do you say about to all this word that your coach is on the hot seat already in the second year?
We're not worried about it. We got Coach Taggart. We're behind Coach Taggart 100%.
Right.
We're not worried about that hot seat talk, none of that stuff, because he's not on the hot seat.
And what makes him a great coach then?
Because he understands us. He comes in. He's more than a coach to us. More like a father figure. He cares about us as development off the field. He reaches his hand out for anything we need. So he just has our back no matter what we do.
I also want to ask you about covering University of Miami and Miami Herald. The game last year. You've been in the last two games.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Obviously disappointing for you guys. To you, is that an important game or important series? I know to the Florida guys, they're from Florida. It is.
Most definitely, a rivalry game like that is always important. You want to win every rivalry game, not just every rivalry game, but a football game.
Right.
More importantly, those games like Miami, Florida, and Clemson, you always circle those off rip as soon as you get the schedule each year.
Do you remember that game last year? What
I remember
happened?
each and every game.
You guys were ahead by a lot, I guess. When you look back at that game, what was the difference?
The things we're working on in offseason right now is the little things. The little things that Miami was able to capitalize, turn into big things for them. And, that's just little things we've been working on the offseason. Just not to let them maximize the big things to help us turn the ball over, force picks and different things like that. We were working on small things to help us score instead of turning it over.
How much are you looking forward to that game this year? I know it's in November. It's later than usual.
Oh, that's good. So we go in there undefeated. They go in there undefeated. Somebody has to come out victorious. That's how I want the game to go down.
Marvin, I talked to Coach Lee. He said when you first got to Episcopal, you were more of a basketball player. I guess growing up, what made you want to be a leader?
Really just because of my neighborhood and one of my best friends back at home, Doc. We played on the same AAU team since like fourth grade. And going into high school, I was a hooper. I just played football just because I just played football. And then when I got to high school, freshman year, I really started playing. And I just fell in love with football more than I did than basketball.
When did you first see Tamarian? What did you know about him?
I first started hearing about Tamari on a Clemson game. I came to Clemson, my official visit, and I saw him and Pokey Wilson there. And I started meeting them. I just knowing they're from Georgia, and we just followed each other and talking. First thing you could just tell by looking at them, they're athletic. You could tell they're super athletic. Georgia country boys. They already know they got natural strength. So just been talking to them, just knowing they wanted to come to Florida State. They were thinking about it, and that's what helped me make my decision to come to it.
And Tamarian specifically, I think was like a 1 or a 2-star recruit. Like didn't get offered by many people. When did you see in practice to go, oh man, this guy's really
Our very
good?
first workout.
What was it?
We was doing, I think it was like, I'll never forget it. We did an Indian run for like an hour and 30 minutes. I'll never forget. And they didn't get tired. I don't think Pokey was sweating either. I was like, these are country boys for real.
How much or what did you learn from that opener last year? It was a game where almost everything that could go wrong did go wrong for you guys, and I mean taking that into a pretty big opener again this year with Boise State.
Everything matters. Little things. Biggest thing that happened at Virginia Tech game, just like that Miami game, they capitalized on the little things that we gave them, and they made it turn into big plays. There's certain things we can't give away as a team this year, and we're not going to give it away.
You guys came into this event last year with pretty lofty expectations around the board, I would say. Do you feel like there's less pressure on you guys this year, and if so, will that benefit you?
We'll always have pressure on just because we go to Florida State. Everybody wants to beat Florida State each and every year just to say they beat us. Just feel that same pressure each and every year, but at the same time, we don't feel no pressure because we've been putting in the work to show that we're ready to show it.
What's the main difference between this team this year and the one last year?
Mindset.
What's
the mindset is we're going to go out and we're going to win each and every day. Anything, like we'd be walking to the door like I beat you to the door. Like it's gonna come. That's what it comes down to. We're gonna try to win everything.
You just said, hey, we're Florida State. Does it mean something to you guys when you come to the ACC Kickoff and everybody's talking about Clemson and they're the prohibitive favorite? Florida State not in the conversation. What is the mindset of Florida State players heading into the season because of that?
Mindset of us, we gotta get back and take it. You can't be mad about them giving them the favoritism and coming in and winning. They just won the national championship. You can't be mad. You can't be jealous. You just gotta look at the fine print. And went out, they won last year. They won the championship. Of course, they're gonna be favored coming in. Now, as a man, as a player, you gotta work your butt off to overthrow them. You feel me? It's not just that they don't deserve it. They deserve it. They work their butt off and earn that spot. They earn that position. So we gotta work our butts off and earn that position back.
Was that one of the low points of last year, that loss at home to them?
No, it was a lot of low points we had last year, but that was last year. We're not really like dwelling on the past last yeyear. We're moving forward. Just we've been dwelling on working on getting better.
As a competitor, do you look forward to that game?
Oh, most definitely.
The Valley this year,
Most
going
definitely.
after Trevor Lawrence.
I've been circling it since the schedule dropped.
What makes that so special for you?
It's just watching Clemson versus Florida State. When I came from that FSU visit, ever since then, when I saw basically like Deshaun Watson versus Dalvin Cook, that's exactly what it was, that game. And that ever since then, I fell in love with that rivalry there.
What have you seen from J-Rob and Kando? Some guys are going to have higher expectations as ends this year. Where have they kind of made progress, you think?
The weight room. The biggest thing I've been seeing J-Rob and Kando is they've been attacking the weight room hard. And they've already been physically gifted with the body, how they're cut. They look like Hercules, both of them. But now the weight that they're putting up is ridiculous. They're putting up almost offensive line and defensive tackle numbers on the weight room, and it's amazing to see.
Marvin, I also talked to your mom, and she said there's something outside of sports that you were passionate about was writing. How did you have this?
Yeah, I got into writing because of one of my teachers' name, Miss Hool. She made me get in creative writing for what I don't know, but it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Just go out, just really out, because at high school I really was one of the silent guys. I really never liked talking to people less than my homeboys. And just me be able to write just helped me expand my horizon as my personality and get to express myself. And,
What kind of writing did you do?
I really just did poet, really a poet. I got to just write about just hard times, just things in my past that I never talked about.
What year would that official visit have been when you saw Deshaun and Dalvin playing?
That was 2016, fall 2016.
Is that one of those environments? I mean, that environment was crazy.
It was amazing.
That you want that stadium back to?
Most definitely. That's one thing we talk about the locker room, especially the guys that in my class, because the majority of my class was at that game. And we saw how the stadium was rocking and all that Noles chant, and also that's one of the top 5 moments of my FSU career, and I wasn't even playing yet.
Is the ACC better if Clemson and FSU are battling for that championship every year?
The ACC is going to be better because it's the top league, period. Just coming in, you got different guys, you got Clemson, you got us, you got Miami, then you got some guys, some years in North Carolina can pop up, you just got different things. So you got Pitt, Louisville. So you never know what you're going to have each and every year. Compared to other leagues, you have stamped the same team that's going to come out each and every year and dominate. In the ACC, you never know who's going to come out and take the crown.
Marvin, when was the first time that Tamori did something that caught your attention?
Workouts. Just first, all of our summer workouts, they never got tired. We did conditioning, never.
Was that last year or was the summer?
Coming in our freshman year, everybody would be dead tired. Him and Pokey would probably be just look like they're fresh every time.
How about in practice? The first time when he made a catch or made a play?
The first time I saw Terry run a deep ball, I think it was against T-Time, and he burned him. I'll never forget it.
That opinion that the ACC is the top league isn't shared much out of this area. How important is it for you?
in games like Boise and Florida, for ACC teams to win outside of the conference to raise that?
I'm always been for ACC teams when they go out and play any other team, outside our conference, because a lot of people like to talk down about the ACC about it's not powerful and stuff like that, and do like SEC type other things. But literally, when I see any ACC team go against any other team outside of our conference, I'm like one of the biggest fans, biggest supporters, because I just want us to have the respect that we deserve.
Well, something I've been told is ever since high school, pretty much, you've been always pretty humble about your individual accomplishments. Where does that come from?
I come from my mom. My mom taught me one thing about it. She always say one thing about it, boy, you put your pants on just like everybody else. And that's the mindset I adapted since I was a kid. Just because you have this certain status or you have this certain amount of success, you don't make you no better than nobody else. I always took it out and I just kept it.
Do you think that's helped you on the field at all?
I think that's helped me a lot, especially with this individual success I'm having now, and just blowing up. People around town starting looking at me different, and trying to treat me a certain way. And I just won't allow it to happen. I got to remain humble. That's what got me on the field. That's what got me to where I am now, and I'm keep it.
What do you feel kind of in terms of work behind the scenes? What kind of led to that successful year you had last year, and how you maybe hoping to build upon that this year?
Really, just hard work. Just coming in. Working when nobody else is working, going in the film room, meeting with talking with Odell, how to just asking questions. That's one of the biggest things. When I'm uncertain, I always make sure I ask questions to make sure I know exactly what I need to do, how exactly I need to do this. I'm not afraid to ask help. That's one of the biggest things having Brian and DeMarcus last year. I would stop in middle of practice, like, bro, I'm having trouble with this. How do you do it? They used to break it down to me to the T. This is exactly how you line up. This is how you attack this man. This is how you rush here. And that's one of the biggest things I'm gonna miss this season is just having my big brothers there, just breaking things down for me. And that's what helped me last year, separate myself.
How do you separate yourself even more this year, given that you don't have those guys to lead up there?
You got to set the standard now for the young guys. That's what's gonna help me separate myself again this year. You got to be that guy. Last year you had two guys. I had two guys in front of me. That was those guys, and now I got to be that guy for them.
Can that pass rusher of your team be as good as it was last year?
And so I think we could be better than last year. Just not just because we just have more pieces now. We have a lot of young guys that were ready last year. They're ready now, more than ready. They're primed for this.
Speaking of those guys that came in last year, what have you seen from them, like Chapman and Lamar and some of those guys? What kind of development have you seen from them?
I've seen the mental development. That was the biggest thing. Most freshmen, they have trouble coming in. It's not even the physical part, it's just the mental aspect of the game, technique, different things like that. One thing I see from both of those guys is they're coming in, they work their butt off. With me, with Odell, trying to stay in after practice, trying to get extra reps in, with me and Corey, just trying to call us up, and trying to get in the indoor. They always have a want to get better.
I know we talked to Coop in the spring. He was talking about losing weight and getting in better shape. How far has he come?
Oh, Big Coop probably like low 330s now. He lost about a good 30, almost not 30, about 40, almost 40, going on 50 pounds now in like one off season. And I couldn't be more proud of him. That's my roommate, Big Coop. I got him and Meadows in my room. And I couldn't be more proud of him. Just seeing Coop work his butt off, just losing that weight.
Clemson's looked at as the cream of the crop right now in the ACC. It wasn't too long ago that Florida State was viewed that way. What do you feel like your program needs to do to get back on top at the conference?
You got to win. That's all you got to do. Winning is the key to success, especially in this sport. You win, you earn the status back. That's all it is.
What do you remember most about that game versus Clemson last year?
Remember most is, just when the clock hit zero, and I'll never forget that feeling. And when we go down to Clemson this year, I'm going to have that same feeling.
How much of a bounce, obviously not as successful season for you guys last year, going to take a few years to kind of bounce back and get back to the winning ways, or can you do that right away this year?
It can happen this year. It can't happen this year, and it will be this year. It's just all about a mindset. Most people just think about it's a long transition to get back to winning. That switch can happen at any given moment. That switch could have happened last year, midway through the season. We lost one game, boom, flipping and just went out. It's all about a mindset to us now. And the biggest thing about us now is that we're nipping little things in the bud before the season. Everybody's working harder. Everybody's taking the time out to reach out to each other, so we're all on one page and we're all one unit. And now it's just a bunch of individuals.
Coach Taggart said the summer workouts, voluntary workouts, things like that. The reports he's getting are that they're better attendance and guys aren't complaining about going. What are you seeing different this year from last year?
Better leadership. Guys are being more accountable to themselves. Guys are reaching out to different players and holding each other accountable. That's the biggest thing that this year I love. And it's not just a handful of guys, it's everybody. And the biggest thing, I learned in high school is like it's hard to tell your homeboy something, but it's easy to tell somebody else you need to get on your stuff. And that's the biggest thing. You see, you got different guys that have like their inner friends within the team. They're getting on them each other, and that's what I love. You know, it's that being comfortable enough to tell your homeboy, like, hey man, what you're doing is not going to get us where we need to be. That's the biggest thing we saw when we got back from the season, and it's been transpiring all the way to now. It's not even a question now. When we say something, but when we having a meeting, everybody's going to be there. When we're going to get some extra work in, everybody's there.
Marvin, I'm working on something related to concussions in football, which obviously is a big discussion around the sport. How much do you feel like you know about the long-term risks of playing football, concussion, and CTE?
I know a few things about long term, you know, the CTE and the concussions and stuff like that. And that's why I take great care of my body, just going in and getting that treatment. I really don't. It comes in really how we practice too. We have our little pads on the helmet. One thing about it, and they teach us how to tackle. Like one thing about it, I look at my highlights and just different things. Attacking the game, I make sure I take my head out of everything. Make sure I use my technique, use my shoulder pads, arms and forearms. I'd rather use that than use my head.
When you were growing up, did anyone ever like sit you down and go over the risks or some of the concerns with you, or did you learn it on your own, or how did you kind of?
I really didn't learn about it until I got to college, when we started having different speakers come in and talk to us. Our first couple of years when we first got there, you know, that's when I really started taking notice about how serious CTE and concussions were.
Have you had a concussion?
No, I've never had concussions before. It's amazing to say. I'm knock on wood. I hope I'll never get one.
How do you balance sort of your passion for the game with the concern of maybe what it might do to you down the road?
You got to think about it bigger. When you're in the game, you got to think about it. Rather, do I want to make this crazy, amazing play, or do you want to run with your kids later on down the line? That's how it is. When you look at me, when I make tackles, it sometimes look basic, but at the same time, they still feel it because I'm 310 at the end of the day. So whenever I tackle somebody, they're gonna feel it whether they want to or not. And that's the biggest thing I take into it. Like I was talking to Kando about it one day. It was at practice. It's back when me and Kando was injured last spring. It's like we were just talking about tackling and different things like that. And just injuries, like at the end of the day, it's like, bro, I want to run with my kids and run with my kids when I'm done playing. And that's why we practice so well. Like we learned how to practice more since Coach Taggart been here. Guys don't go down as much. Guys we stay up. We thud. When we go live, we tackle each other right. We don't twist. There ain't no twisting ankles, no hitting after the play. You know, we learn how to practice well, take care of each other.
Regardless of the rivalry with Miami, just the turnover chain, I've wondered how players really feel about it as far as a prop. I know you guys obviously have your own thing in Florida State, but what do you guys think of the turnover chain itself?
I like the turnover chain.
You do?
I want them to pull it out each and every time to get the crowd crunk, get them going, and just so we can shut them up. So I love the idea of the turnover chain.
And the backpack, you guys obviously came up with that idea, just the genesis of it, what you remember of it?
My great memory of it is probably when Jizzle got that game-winning pick against Louisville, and he got the turnover backpack, and then Stan coming back down and getting it to shut the game out. That was my favorite memory of the turnover backpack last year.
Looking at the defense as a whole, I guess, where does improvement have to come from? How do you guys become better as an overall defensive unit this year?
We got to work together. It just can't be just this unit's doing great and these other two units are bad, or it's two units doing good and one unit was down the game. We got to work together as a whole defense this year. We got to trust each other that all 11 is going to come out and play, execute. We got to stay to our morals, just play fast, physical, and aggressive. Just got to come out and just do what we have to do each and every game, each and every game.
When you look around your locker room or look around the practice field, do you get a feeling yet if this is going to be a better defense?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely, just from guys coming in, hitting each other up, come watch extra film, getting upstairs, just going over plays with each other. We have certain walkthroughs where we just go in and just put the trash can out, so we just talk through different plays, talk through different responsibilities, what happens if this happens in the game. That's the biggest thing I see between this year and last year is just coming in and talking. That's one of the biggest things we didn't do last year was being able to talk on the field, explain why did I do this, why we did that, just instead of going out just playing.
As someone who faced Kendall Brown's offense in practice almost every day, what impressed you about it?
I like Kendall a lot because I try to talk trash to him every now and then during practice. I remember one time I talked trash after I tackled Cam for a loss. And I remember he's like, "Oh yeah, watch this," and he threw a 80-yard bomb down to Terry. And the very next play. And after that, Kendall's had my respect ever since because I don't talk too crazy to him that much. I'd rather talk to the players, but he when he really wants to score, he'll dial it up. He'll score.
Quick tempo.
Really gets down to the field. Once he sees a weakness, he's going to expose it.
Marvin, this summer when you find out you're going to be heading here, Mom told me that you kept it a secret from her until you actually went home. Why was it important to you to tell her person?
I just want to tell the person, just let her know that everything's gonna be all right. You know, just this journey's been really tough at first, but everything's starting to work out for the better.
What do you see from your secondary? Do you expect that you do better this year?
Oh yeah. One thing about it, I know I got faith in all those guys in the secondary, especially from older to youngest, from Stanford Samuels, Hamza Nazaddine, Cyrus, all the way down to Akeem Dent, Travis J, the guys that just came in. I got a lot of faith in those young guys, a lot of faith in the older guys that are gonna come out and do what they need to do to help us to win.
You have Cam. What are some of the other tough guys that tackle in the league that you recall from the last 2 years?
Probably tough guys to tackle the last 2 years, probably like A.J. Dillon, who else? Anthony Brown, Travis Etienne, he was tough to tackle. Tommy, we played Tommy last year when he got to the sub in at Syracuse, he was tough to tackle, and that's about it.
Yeah, what makes them tough? Other than just being strong, what makes them tough?
It's just the looseness, that they have. They have the eye they have for the game. Just really just set you up and to break it down at the same time. That's the one you got to be able to be on your P's and Q's, be on your toes, and not be sitting back and just lunge out at them because they're gonna make you miss.
Marvin, I know you guys have your own goals, and it's always about getting Florida State back to that top level. But obviously, having the defending national champion in your conference, what do you guys feel like you guys still need to do to kind of close that gap and not only get back to where y'all used to be as national champions, but get closer to Clemson?
Honestly, we just want to win. That's the biggest thing. I feel like not just me, but as a team as a whole, we come out, we just win each and every game. We'll come back and take our crown.
And what do you feel like you guys were able to take from playing Clemson last year into this season?
What not to do. That's the biggest thing we learned last year, what not to do.
And what were some of those things?
Some of those things just coming out, we need to learn how to prepare better, maximize some of the little things that we're messing up in practice that we have to fix and take things a lot more serious going into those games like that. Just our mindset is just coming in, we normally want to win those games.
And then, penalties were another thing you guys had to work on both sides of the ball. What have you been able to see? Because I know Tamarian said they don't have a playbook, so they're kind of, working on their thing. What do you feel like defensively you guys had to do to kind of cut down penalties?
One thing we've been working down to cut down penalties is knowing where we need to be. Mental toughness. A lot of things we got penalties last year because it was bad technique or it's a lack of mental toughness, and that's the biggest thing we've been working on is working on technique a lot more and our mental toughness.
What's going on? I got a couple of non-conventional questions for you. So what's been your most embarrassing football story?
Most embarrassing football story. I'll probably go back to Little League. We lost, I think it was our homecoming game. It was one of our new teams in this league. We played, it was called the Renegades. We didn't know they were that good. And my team was the top dog that year, and we ended up losing we was undefeated. Both of us undefeated going into that game. We lost 60-something to 0. I'll never forget it. Yeah.
Which teammate, how do you deal with pregame nerves?
Really, I don't get too nervous before a game until we go out and hit a nose chop. But other than that, really, I just be jamming my music. And just be jamming, just listen to everything really, from Sauce Walker to Dolph to God, it don't matter, just everything. You feel me? I just listen to that, get my mind right, and I'm fearless after that.
And then, if you had a sister, which teammate would you allow to date your sister?
None of them. None of them. Not a one. Love them to death. They're my boys, but none of them.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Marvin, it seems like just a few years ago, Florida State was where kind of Clemson's at now. It seemed, the heavy favorite coming into this particular event. Do you kind of feel like, is it kind of like, do teams kind of have that perception? Is it kind of like right now everybody's chasing Clemson, trying to get back or get to where Clemson's at right now?
I feel like a lot of teams are, but I feel like us, really, we're just trying to win games right now. Of course, a lot of teams have circled Clemson off as like the top dog. They want to knock them off and stuff like that. But me personally, not just me personally, us as a program, really, we just want to win each and every game, leading into that Clemson game and leading into the end of the season. We just want to win every game.
And I'm sure Florida State still is the team, one of the 2 or 3 teams that Clemson will circle in their schedule. Is that kind of the same way for you guys? Is that still one of those games to where you pinpoint going, hey, when do we play them? You know that's going to be a big year in, year out.
Of course, you have to respect them. You know, they just won a natty last year, and I was in the contention for the last couple of years. Of course, you have to circle those games because those are games that's going to mean something when it comes down to college football playoff. You know, that name is going to hold that much weight when you need to come down to it. So, of course, you have that game circled out.
Whether it's Clemson or anybody else, do you pull against? Because some of these guys are obviously your rivals. If another league team makes it to the playoff, do you hope they go ahead and win the whole thing? It's good for the conference. You guys get a chance to play the national champs next year.
Most definitely me. I'm one of the guys that I'm like, yeah, of course, they're in our league. So you want that team to go out and represent your league as best as they can. So I'm one of the guys that's going to root for anybody from our league that goes out and that's Final Four.
You got to look at that Clemson team last year, and obviously they had a tremendous performance. Is it any thoughts right now on what it's going to take? Pretty much the same skill guys back. Well, what does it kind of take to maybe slow those guys, or what's the key to try to, keep those guys at bay, so to speak?
You got to come out and play smash mouth football. One thing about when you play good teams like that, you can't give away dumb penalties. You got to come out. You got to execute the little things. You can't give them anything. You got to come out and play hard. You got to play physical. You got to play tough. You got to play smart football more than anything.
Any kind of an extra revenge factor, any kind of extra chip on the shoulder motivation from how the game went last year when you guys head to Clemson this coming season?
No revenge factor. You just got to come out and win.
Thank you very much.
Marvin, going against the O-line, how is it different under Randy's guidance than maybe you saw last year?
Really, Coach Frey is a great coach, and Coach Clemens is a great coach too. But Coach Clemens is different. He's a very different coach. He has that. He just has that. I don't know how to say it to you. He just has that feeling where he has a connection with the guys. He really talks to them. They really get him. They understand what he wants from them, what he wants out of them. That grit that they starting to get now, like they're not even getting. Like a lot of them start developing towards the end of this spring. Start to develop that grit, like that tenacity, just to go out and attack.
Do they try to be more maulers this year under Randy?
There have been a lot more maulers than just been more passive aggressive, and that's the biggest thing I like. I like them being more aggressive. They're coming out, lashing out, and I love it.
That group obviously last year was torn down by a lot of people. They struggled. When you guys oppose them and you win a battle, do you worry about their psyche with preparing them to be a good part of your team the next year?
Almost definitely. You got to go at them and you got to just attack them just like it's a game. You want to go out, you got to go attack them and try to beat their butt every day. That's how you got to be, because one thing about it, iron sharpens iron. At the end of the day, if I come out and lash you out, beat you down in practice, you're gonna keep getting better each and every day until you come out and you put me on my back. And that's the biggest thing. We didn't shy away as a team from offensive line. We embraced it. We helped them embrace that pain that they went through in this offseason. Now, one thing about it, I love about our O-line that they didn't shy away from it. They accepted it wholeheartedly and they got better.
Did you always play defensive line? I assume you're always a big kid growing up.
Yes, I always played defensive line. I played a little bit tight end in middle school though too.
I assume you can move and catch a little bit, right?
I used to go out for a little flag route every now and then, a little post, catch the ball.
So when did you start playing? How old were you when you started playing football?
I think I was in third grade.
And you liked it, like as an 8-year-old on the line. Like everybody loves being a running back and a quarterback, but you liked mixing it up as an 8-year-old?
Yeah, I like mixing it up as an 8-year-old. I love playing. I just love being out there on the field, just being part of the team at the time, just being out there. I had to be at home on Saturdays. I had practice. It was just all new to me, and I loved it.
Who was the first person to tell you, man, if you keep going, you have a chance to have a career at this?
My brother Jonathan.
How old were you? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was in third grade when I first
really?
started. Yeah.
He saw it? What do you think he saw in you?
Jonathan just always taught me football. Jonathan taught me football, basketball, baseball, everything. Because we was going to Boys and Girls Club together. He was always older than me. He's like 17, 18 at the time. He was my coach.
Oh, so he was like 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah, he was always way older than me. So he was like my coach for when I used to play in the Boys and Girls Club League before I actually started playing like real rec league football and basketball.
So he kind of gave you a pretty hard training, I would imagine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marvin, do you guys still have the turnover backpack, I guess?
I don't know. I just wait to see what when the season comes. Most likely, I'd love to see it again, but it's probably going to be like a game time decision.
More inside, you still have it. Why?
I don't know.
Why did you like that?
Because it's ours. One thing about a lot of people talked about our turnover backpack, but I loved it because it's ours, and you got to embrace what's yours.
A lot of people made fun of it. Did that drive you crazy?
No, it didn't drive me crazy. People always gonna have something to say.
Yeah. Did you ever get it? I'm sorry for not knowing it. Did you earn the turnover backpack?
I never earned the turnover backpack last year. Really, I earned it one time. I got me a strip fumble, but Cyrus took my backpack. But I'm gonna let him keep it though. I let him keep it.
What'd you think of the turnover chain?
It's pretty cool. You know, that's the thing that they got for their environment. You know, and just it's good for them.
Okay, thanks.
I assume when you come out of high school and you pick a program like Florida State, the end goal is to win a national championship. Is that a fair assumption?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
How has perception versus reality, I guess, meshed in your 2 or 3 years there so far in terms of learning to understand what it takes to get that level, which this program was at only a short time ago?
Since I've been here, the biggest thing I've learned is just you got to go out and get it. You know, nothing's going to be given to you. You got to go out there, work your butt off for what you is, and it's not just so easy just to go out and win a championship. You know, there's so many moving pieces. That's more than just you and a couple other people. It's the whole team. It's going to take everybody to win a championship. It's going to take everybody, from not just talking about players, I'm talking about the coaches, the trainers. Everybody has to be on one point to win a championship.
What are some of the finer points of that? Tamorian said, like, for example, Clemson was great last year, but they never got any penalties. We had a lot of penalties. Something like that, you know, us in the media and fans overlook week to week. I mean, what are some of those behind-the-scenes, smaller details that turn into big ones when you don't take care of business?
Definitely penalties, one of the big ones last year. Just guys knowing our assignments, you know, knowing what to do with each play, not having so much missed assignments like MAs and stuff like that in the game that cost us touchdowns, that cost us big plays, giving up on both sides of the ball. That's the biggest thing we've been working on this year, just knowing where we need to be, being where we need to be.
Do you talk to guys who won at Florida State, or even guys now at Clemson who you may be friends with who've won it, and pick their brain about this is tough, like this is what we signed up for, but this is, you know, this is what we still got to do?
Most definitely. One of the good things I got to talk to is I talked to Timmy when he came back one time. Just pick his brains.
Who's that? I'm sorry?
Timmy Jernigan.
Okay.
He got to come back. Me and Terry actually got to sit down and talk with him and just catch up with him, just learn about it. It's that physical and mental grind. He's like, your mental state has to be so far driven that you can't catch it no more. Just being able to go out and grind each and every day, and knowing that the guy next to you is working hard. That's what creates that family environment. Because you got somebody, you know, like, for me, I know James Blackman gonna go out and work his butt off every day. That's just because I know James. I know James probably right now watching film because I know him like the back of my head. And that's what's creating that family environment. Because now it's not just our class. Now it's like, I know Jamarcus Chapman. I know he's probably what is it, like 2? He just 12. He just got out of workouts. He in treatment right now. I know him like the back of my head. That's the trust we're all building. Like, you knowing that everybody's working together to win that one goal that we all have.
Does Coach Taggart, when he rounds you up either at the beginning of spring or beginning of fall camp next month, I mean, does he lay out these goals and say, hey, our goal, we're Florida State, our goal is to be a national championship program and to one day win a national championship?
You know, one thing about it, you come to Florida State, the standards already been set from years before. The standard every year is a championship and win football games, and that's what it always will be. We got to go match the standard each and every year.
Does it help in kind of a backwards way? I mean, you played a team like Clemson that's won 2 of the last 3. You've got an up-close look. And look, some years you've been pretty close to beating them, other years not so close. But does it help to at least see that up close and know, like, how close or how far we are from one day taking that throne back?
Most definitely. It's great to have that, just having that experience to learn, especially at a young age, what it takes to beat and compete with teams like that. And sometimes it drives you crazy because you want to beat them so badly. But now you just got to sit back and really evaluate them as a whole and really learn how to beat them.
Hey, what's your major?
Sociology major.
Are you gonna? Would you want to be a broadcaster when you get done with football?
Yes, sir. I would like to be a broadcaster when I'm done with football.
I mean, you know you've got like skill. You can talk.
Yes, sir.
Like, and EJ was in here, and EJ was a former football player. I was wondering if that was something that is intelligent as you are, and as well spoken as you are, and as much football knowledge as you have.
Yes, sir.
When did you start thinking that might be something you want to do after?
Really, I started thinking about it doing recruiting. I was like,
really?
I'm doing all these like interviews and stuff like this already. I might as well. I wasn't one of the guys that shied away from interviews. And I was like, if I got to do it, I got to do it. And,
right.
And so I just after a while, I just started liking it after a while. So I've been thinking about it.
In a situation like this, obviously you've been asked about Clemson a lot. Tamorian over there kept saying, I don't remember last year. Like, anytime he was asked about last season at all, I don't remember it. That's why I'm focused on this year. You knew that was coming. You knew questions about last year were coming. Is it something team-wide? Is it something that you and him talked about? Like, here's how we're going to handle questions? Like, how?
Team-wide.
Yeah.
Team-wide.
Like, last year.
Last year. You can't go back and fix anything last year, so why think about it?
Right.
So that's what we've been doing. We worry about now. Going in each and every day, we worry about today and tomorrow. That's how we've been living.
And you mentioned a little bit about social media. There's some former players that maybe criticize the program, criticize the team. Now, I'm sure it comes from a place of they love Florida State. They want Florida State to be good. How do you not take it personally with fans and former players if they're on social media saying bad things about the team? Or do you? Like,
you just do better.
Yeah.
You don't say nothing to it. You just let them talk. Let them say what they have to say. And just go work harder. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna give you a praise once you do something. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not doing nothing, everybody gonna have something bad to say.
Right.
So when you go and handle your business, they don't have nothing bad to say then.
Right. It's a good lesson to learn at an early age. Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
What was it like hanging out with Timmy? He was always one of my favorite guys to interview, man. He
I was
awesome.
I was actually starstruck because Timmy one of the guys I always watched growing up, coming through high school.
He was a beast.
And I was like, I was just talking to him a little bit. I was like, damn, like this is really Timmy Turner that I'm out here hanging out with. So it was,
How did that
cool.
happen? How did you meet up with him?
He just stopped. He just stopped by one time, coming to talk to Odell and stuff during the spring. Me and Terry was on campus and was just.
And you got to hang out with him. What'd you think of him?
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude. Great dude.
And I heard you mention Odell, how hard he is. What makes him? Because we only see him for a few snippets before practice or when the other guys are warming up a little bit. What makes him so hard on players? But also, it seems like Jernigan comes back to hang out with them. Like he fosters a love for these guys after they leave, but maybe not when they're here. What makes him the coach that he is? How is he hard on you guys?
He fosters your love while you're here.
Okay,
he most definitely fosters love. But when you get on the field, he wants you think. In our perspective, it's like everything has to be perfect with him. It's like nothing can be just okay or good. That's great. It has to be perfect. Like he wants you to have everything perfect. You can do almost everything right, but one little mess up, the whole rep doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's how he treats you. And he try to fix us. If you're able enough to go off to the league, he wants to have your technique to set up to where you can play years down the league. Years in the league.
Right.
Because you have such great technique. You don't have to rely about your athletic ability each and every play. You can rely on your technique majority of the time.
What was that like for you, though, being you were obviously who you were coming out of high school and probably didn't get criticized a ton. What was that like your first week or two with Odell nitpicking everything you did?
It wasn't that bad. It was just, at first it was bad just because having thinking I was like, am I really this bad at football? Like, I really used to ask like Wally and Christmas, like, am I this bad? Like I'll stop in practice, like, bro, I can't be this bad. And like that was the only thing that used to make me just go crazy. Is just thinking like, I just made me feel like I was just bad. Like, I just thought I sucked at football. Other than that, it's like, nah, I was a sponge. Like I always wanted to take in all the information he ever had, and I'm still am like that. Like, I still, whenever Odell want to drop some knowledge on me or like just give him the game, I'm right there listening.
Does he treat you different now that you're junior and everything than he did when you were a true freshman?
No.
Same deal?
Same way.
Okay.
Same way. Everybody gets treated the same way.
All right. Well, that's Odell, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is a really weird question.
Oh, no.
I promise I'm not writing this story, but I was asked to ask. Why don't more football players wear a cup on the field?
I don't know why.
It seems like you'd want to protect that.
Yeah, but I haven't been hit by that or nothing since I've been on the field. So
Do you not wear a cup?
No, I don't wear one.
Is it like a comfort thing or like you don't want something impeding your movement?
Yeah, that's definitely a comfort thing for me.
As opposed to the discomfort.
Yeah.
You're willing to risk that certain discomfort.
I'm willing to risk it.
Have you ever on a football field gotten? Yeah. Do you know anybody on the team that does wear one?
Yeah. Oh no, that wear one? No. I thought you were talking about like as the guy hitting the nuts in the game.
How'd they get over it okay? Or
hell no. It takes them a while.
When you get into like a pile or something, are there guys on the other team that'll try and go for that area?
No, I haven't been like, you see like punches and spit go everywhere, but I've never seen nobody really try to hit somebody in the nuts.
I can't imagine what your reaction would be if they did.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's the Christian Wilkins play in the playoff a couple of years ago that
that's got a lot
of people's attention. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, not popular with the other guys.
So how good was he his freshman year in practice? Willie said the first guy he noticed when he watched y'all's ball practice for Shreveport was 15.
Oh.
How good was he?
Yeah, tomorrow it was great. He was what he did last season. He's what he did freshman year each and every day in practice.
Were you guys asking yourselves like, hey? Because he said, the scout team, I was scoring touchdowns and catching a lot of balls, and it's like it was frustrating I wasn't playing, but it was the deal. Were you guys wondering, like, what? This guy's a freak.
We always like that, most freshmen are like that. They get red shirt and still have to play scout team.
Right.
And Terry was one of the few guys that I've ever seen just go in and work his butt off each and every day on scout team to get better, and trying to prove himself to get on the field each and every week during the season. And not just him, there's a lot of guys like freshman that were just frustrated but after a while, just learning how to trust the process.
And you talked about him in the Indian run. What is that, by the way? What's an Indian run?
Indian run, like you have the whole group, and you be jogging, and then the guy from the back runs to the front.
I gotcha.
And then
and you had to do that for like an hour and a half?
Almost an hour and a half. The whole workout, we did that.
So that's the first time he impressed you with his stamina. But what was the first thing you saw him do on a football field? Do you remember that, or like, man, is this guy for real?
Our first scrimmage against Jimbo, with Jimbo, we did. I think it was our first defense versus like the twos, and Terry had got in. He was running with the threes. He got in for a couple plays, and they went to Terry. We caught like 4 balls back to back, like 10 plus yards.
Right.
And that's when I thought Terry was gonna be like, not even just play this shit. I thought he was gonna start, right? Because he looked so good in practice. He didn't end up starting in red shirt, and I think if anything, that fueled him to have a big year like last year.
Do you think the rest of the country knows? I mean, I know he had some big moments last year, but do you think the rest of the country knows how just freaky talented he is?
No, I don't think they don't understand how special Tamari Terry is. And the thing about it is, he's just tapping into his bag. He hasn't really showed everybody what he really can do.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
I know we talk about this like outside in the media all the time about like players getting paid, players getting name and likeness rights. Do you guys talk about it in the locker room at all? Like, is it a conversation when you're hanging out?
No, because they'll never get rid of it. So it's something we won't even talk about because you just get your hopes up before it. It just makes you mad after a while.
I think paying players can be a very divisive issue, but it feels like there's real momentum maybe to get you at least like name and likeness rights. You know, like is that something that you'd love to see it happen?
Oh, most definitely. I would love to see it happen, especially with so many guys like. Just going by, like, you still see guys wearing Jameis Winston jersey. He's been going out of college for so many years. But people still ordering those, and he's not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Now he might be because he's out of college football. But back then, it's like think about it when he was on the national championship run. How much money he could have made.
Yeah. Would you trade like getting extra benefits that way if you had to also like handle your taxes and you gotta all the stuff that comes along? Like if you had a normal job.
Okay, you got to. Yeah, I'll probably do it. If you have to file taxes, if you got likeness, I'll probably still do it.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Marvin, man. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, sir.